Hi everyone, welcome to DOdaily, Tuesday training. It's Des here, looking to maintain, instill and encourage some positivity as we push on through the week. Of course, today's motivation is all about building on Monday motivation, taking things that extra step forward. I like to build on my activity, and that's definitely something I've done today. Actually out for my second bit of activity, a 5k walk. Just decided, feeling a bit tired from what I did this morning. I'll explain about that in a moment, but just taking a walk along the canal, not the most picturesque part of the Nottingham Canal, up into town. It's about 1.5 miles there and 1.5 miles back. So I'm going to cover 5k, and I'm really pleased that it's my second activity of the day. This morning I was up at 6 a.m, went out for a run, and I've been itching to get out there after everything I said on Monday motivation yesterday. It was one of those real and raw episodes where I tell you about a situation that's been affecting me, that's been bothering me. They're not easy to do, so I've been keen and eager to get out for a run, and because I know how much it works for me. It's my go-to action when I'm not feeling very good. I always talk about the link I believe there is between mental and physical health. And whilst I'm absolutely okay, when you're in that state, your mental health's not quite where it should be. Stresses, worries, concerns, all brought on by a situation that I wasn't comfortable with. But yesterday was almost putting that to bed, getting it out in the open, saying what I have to say and move on. I knew once I was well enough to get out for a run that I'd almost put it behind me, and I can start feeling fantastic about other things going on in my life. But I'm looking for some normality and routine to set back in this week. This is what all this activity and walking's about. Getting out, doing DOdaily, enjoying the daylight, making the most of the daylight. At the time of year it slips away from us. It's all about trying to get back to the things that, when they happen how they should, make me happy and content. And that's all I'm looking to be after whatever's happened in the last week or two. Actually feeling a lot better today as well. Whilst the run was tough, it was really tough getting up and getting out. It was cold, and it was tough whilst I was doing it. It was tough straight after it. Not run now for nearly 2.5 weeks, and even then it was probably a while before that. Not been on top form with that, so it's a case of digging deep, digging in. But by the time mid-morning came, I'd got about the day, I'd got about my jobs. I was feeling fantastic for it. The endorphins were starting to flow, and I was feeling like I'd done some proper Tuesday training, built on my walk last night, which I wasn't expecting to do. Again, built on what I did this morning by doing what I'm doing now. Whilst it's a lot less strenuous and a lot easier, the reason I'm out in reality is got a bit of spare time, starting to flag a little bit. Those endorphins have wore off, but the addictiveness of them is starting to kick back in. A walk and a run and feeling good, that addictive nature of it. It's not the worst thing to be addicted to. So I'm out again, just getting in some steps, taking a route that I've not done for a while, just to check it out almost. And again, sort of beat off that tiredness for the time being. Whilst tiredness is okay, of course, when you haven't done much activity, when you're looking to kick in with the fitness and the nutrition regime, tiredness is all part of it. But I don't want to be tired too soon. I don't want to be falling to sleep just yet. I've got 1 or 2 more jobs to do, and I know if I get this in, another hour out of my day. But for the jobs I've got to do this evening, I'll feel absolutely fantastic. And I've not been tired all day. What I have felt from the activity I've done, even just the walk last night, this is why Monday, never miss a Monday, so important. I've been so much more productive. In the little things I need to do, the little things around DOdaily, around encouragement, around the running groups I run here in Nottingham, around the good things I try to achieve. You know, the things that make me feel good about myself, not the things that make me feel stressed. But I've been a lot more productive around those, got a lot more sorted, came up with an idea of how to do things better. You know, whether that works or not is another thing, but before this last couple of weeks, you know, I was stressing about how I fit things in, and then I was trying to do even more. And now, by almost dealing with that, putting it to bed, getting back to what I do, kind of got a fresh set of eyes on it as well. You know, and this A change is as good as the rest. You know, it wasn't a change in the way I planned, but it's definitely working for me now. It's definitely enjoyable to be out. You know, like I said, whilst it's not the most picturesque, there's a busy A60 next to me. Everybody finishing off their day. One or two people along the canal walking, fishing, getting about their business. You know, it's just nice to be taking that pace out of it once again. And after everything, you know, that's perfect. Not just the sticky situations, getting up early, you know, being productive means being busy. And again, I'm not too sort of concerned about all that. Being busy is fine. You know, it takes my mind away from things as well. So it's working in all different ways, you know, and that's just forcing myself out of bed, getting out for that run, which felt like absolute agony, felt like torture. But once it was done, you know, I felt absolutely fantastic for it. I felt like I'd achieved something, you know, nothing I've not achieved before, nothing that I shouldn't be achieving more often right now, but it's something I've not been doing. And all we can do when things are tough is just take one day at a time, see what it brings, you know, and that's what I'm doing. I can get out again, you know, I've got the time. Tomorrow might be a completely different kettle of fish, you know, it might be different scenarios where things consume my time and consume my thoughts, and I might not even be feeling it, but right now I'm feeling like there's no chance of that. And that's where we need to be, isn't it? Positive thoughts lead to positive situations. Just like I said with that productivity, it got me back into thinking about all these nice projects I work on, all the stuff that has got no materialism to it. You know, there's nothing materialistic about that stuff. It's just doing good things and trying to achieve nice things to help and support people. And I've spoke about the importance of that so much over the last couple of years. You know, it was definitely important in COVID, wasn't it? We all did a bit. I'm sure most people did something or whatever they could to help others. And again, it's something I tend to do most of the time. You know, of course, I have to think of myself sometimes, and I was perhaps doing that with the job situation, you know, and trying to press on in that sense, and it might come to that again. You know, I've definitely got to put myself first a little bit more. But again, some of these plans I've been talking about, some of these changes I'm making, a fresh set of eyes almost has given me the opportunity to readjust and almost figure out where I can find that little bit of time, that little bit of me time, you know, to get more of this in, because that's important. When I'm in a good frame of mind, when I'm on top form, whatever I try and do for other people is only going to end up with better results. And that's something I've realised, something I knew, but through all that adversity, through all the difficulties, you know, I've had a lot on my plate in the last couple of weeks. Kay kind of termed it that way in something she wrote last night on her own social media, and I'd not thought of it in that sense, just kind of trying to get through it the best I could. But I actually have had a lot on my plate, so all the things I've said about not doing this and this not working, do you know what, it doesn't really matter, because when I can get out, get for a walk, you know, take some time, think about things, process things, you know, understand what might have happened, what might have gone wrong, how I can put it right, you know, that's when we get moving forward, isn't it? And that's all I'm ever looking to do on a Tuesday, is move forward the best I can. Just paused ever so slightly there. There was somebody heading in my direction and I didn't want to walk into them. Took a picture or two of the lock as well. Took a few pictures today. I'll post some up at the end to leave you with. Of course, kind of getting back into that as well, finding a bit of time to actually look at things and enjoy what I'm doing. So again, as I said yesterday, getting back to basics. It feels like I'm doing just that, getting right back to basics, getting a smile back on my face, feeling good about the things I do for me, but to also encourage others. When I'm doing that, it's amazing. Again, out for a walk, last part of the day. You can see Trent Bridge behind me, that place which I talk about so much there as well. The place inspires me itself. I live on the doorstep, and in the last few weeks last few months maybe, I've not made quite enough of it. It's a fantastic place to do the things I enjoy, but wherever you are, there's an opportunity, whether it's walking, running, cycling, doing something that little bit different, doing that extra little bit of exercise can make you feel good, can make the week start feeling worthwhile. And that's of course what I always encourage on a Tuesday training. Get out there, do something, talk about it, feel good about it, tell people about it. Sometimes people look at me and wonder why I'm so hell-bent on explaining myself and what I do. It's because I want other people to be able to dig themselves out of a little bit of a rut and feel better about themselves when things get tough. That's what I've done this week. That's the way I'm feeling. Looking forward to building on today, again tomorrow. Like I say, I feel like I'm going to be rearing to go and ready for my Wednesday workout. Always something I do midweek when I can. Not been able to do that either, so everything right now feels like I'm getting back to what I should be doing. With the Do Running group I lead here in Nottingham, just the other side of the river, that gives me the perfect inspiration to carry on this good form. And for as long as I can, I'm hoping to do that so it becomes habit, routine, and the normality again. Once that happens and the results start coming in terms of fitness, weight loss, perhaps a nice time or distance, to make me feel good, it'll all feel worthwhile. It's not easy to start with. It's not easy coming out of difficult situations, but if we do things we enjoy, and even if it is an activity, of course Tuesday training is all about that, but even if it isn't, I understand it's not absolutely for everyone. Even if it's not activity, do what you enjoy, put some time and attention into it, and things will pick up before you know it. And that's where I'm going to leave it, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. You get what I'm trying to say. If you don't understand everything, check back on some of the previous episodes. They'll give you a bit of an insight into what I'm all about and why I like to check in with my personal vlog every day and explain the way I'm feeling. DOdaily is just a honest, real, relatable take on how things have gone for me personally, but with the intention and hope of helping others deal with their stuff as well. Please give a thumbs up to the episode. If you're new to the channel, do subscribe. Just trying to build a positive platform for people to check in daily from 8 PM and understand that sometimes it's okay not to be okay, but it's definitely okay to be positive and enthusiastic about what we have got, what we can. Just doing it.